Nanillion, Nanillion, good day. Nanillion is a mathematical term. Nanillion like millennial. Millennial is 10 to power 3003. And I'm talking here nanillion, which is very different one. However, it's better to understand all this. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India. Today, 14th May 2025. This is Wednesday, I hope, and it is now 1:07 p.m. I restarted these videos since yesterday I did one. Now I just want to take some time of your precious schedule, maybe an hour later. I just try to shortcut these videos because of memory issues. This drawing, which you can see, is about power 222. This power means power of your oracle, that is Soul Oracle. I am very much interested in talking about quality, QUALITY, Gunavatta, because quality is an issue everywhere, all over the world. You may say it is quality, but in fact you do not know there is no quality. All over the world there is an issue about quality. People may say it is quality company, it is quality product, it is quality engineering work. But how can you be sure? That is one question. You cannot be sure because you are not expert in that field. So we have to be very serious about this matter, what quality is. Engineering world is very vast, all over world is very vast. So many engineering branches are there. More than 15 major branches are existing in engineering everywhere, and we can say that is engineering based on IT and engineering based on no IT. So IT is very common these days as far as software use is concerned. But question is not that. We have to understand whether IT can replace our efforts. Can IT replace our mindset? Can IT be considered as absolutely supporting system? Or should I remain on support of IT all time? Or it's just for personal use? Or it's used for work? So many questions can arise and people can start criticizing my questions because they know IT is only alternative, but I do not agree with that. For me, IT is not an alternative. It can just be a support system and nothing more than that. I can't be slave to all this, what we think is right. Everybody uses IT, I too. I am a civil engineer by education, by qualification, and I use software. This doesn't mean that I don't use my mind. My mind is like your mind, everybody's mind. There is no definition of quantum of mind. No one can define what mind is, how does it work. But we use mind everywhere. A person who claims to be IT oriented also uses mind. Without use of mind, no program can be established, no program can be produced, no activity can be done. Even we don't have water at this moment, there is nothing which human can create. Human has failed everywhere throughout history. There is nothing that human can create except confusion, except contemplation, except that just to boast that I have done this. Even there are learned scientists, learned engineers, doctors, they all are in fact professionals in relation to nature. No professional, no occupation, no business, no life can work absolutely without depending on nature, without depending on universe. That is why we have to understand really what actually exists in terms of quality description. Why I am so inclined, you can say in higher scale, to consider quality as my future. Quality consideration, quality understanding. What do we think about quality? It is very important. We cannot simply say, oh, after whatever doing a quality one. No, you are not quality one until you think yourself, you raise a question to you, am I working qualitatively? Do I have personal status quality, or because I am saying you agree, that is only arbitrary definition of quality, not logical one. Logical definition is very important. And that's why for many years I have been behind quality understanding. It's not just quality system or quality work or quality material, but it's gross quality everywhere. You can say all aspects of life must be qualitative, but are they? That is question one. Can you say my life is qualitative? What do you mean by qualitative? Can you define yourself? Or somebody else has to define? When we are born, whoever is born, that time, that baby does not know what quality is. When one becomes student in engineering, that person also does not understand what quality is. But when you get literary knowledge, when you go further, you have specialist knowledge of some subject or every subject, and you can say, okay, I understand this special knowledge, I can produce whatever is designed for. Here is question of designed for. What do you mean by design? If I say design, I don't think work, whatever work it may be, design work, prosecution work, execution work, material production, manufacturing, or whatever activity you do in life, that is related to demanded quality, not simply quality, demanded quality. And what demanded means? Demand means a kind of specification, a kind of expectation from whatever work is done or whatever product is going to be produced to be delivered, how its performance would be. That is definition of quality. You have to specify in particular, or you can say in good, you can say sometimes we say it's good industrial practice, but what is that practice? Nobody understands. They say, okay, it was done before, so we do it now. Or you can say it is like comparative statement of what was done and what is done. When there is no specification, we might say, okay, I want a material equivalent to this material. You may say you know some material, but that may be very expensive. So you can get another material equivalent to same, you can say inculcated quality, but cost may be low. That can be there. But I'm not going to speak about that because my objective is different. We have seen everybody is interested in quality systems. I am not talking about systems. I am not talking about material quality. I am not talking about work quality. What I am talking is totality. Totality of quality, just like totality of life. Everyone enjoys life. That is true. It is perfect that everybody enjoys life. Is that enjoying life is enough from quality point of view? Or we understand what is quality? You must have seen kids, children at age of 5, 4, 3, 8, 7, 6, whatever. And you think this boy is good, this is naughty, this boy understands very well, this boy has good pick-up power. Like that, you differentiate. But class is same, syllabus is same, pick-up power is more, pick-up power is low. It depends upon it. You can say no one is equal. This power must be understood very well. I am talking in an engineering way. It is nothing that I am going to tell you something from some book which you can say literal knowledge is available. No, I am not interested in that. Well, I am interested in people of this world should know what actually we are, one is. We have engineering background. There is civil engineering. I am civil engineer, particularly qualified according to Indian system. Syllabus of civil engineering, where there are so many branches, so many sub branches of engineering. Road engineering, building engineering, utilities engineering, sewer line engineering, water line engineering, which you call generally environment engineering, road bridges, etc. And you may say like water resources, dams and canals and this and that. So there is construction, and you may say fluid mechanics, applied mechanics, theory of structure, designs of structure. So many types of structures, steel structures, RCC structures, precious concrete structures, so many timber structures in old times. So there is engineering definition in every field, in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, agricultural engineering, aeronautics engineering, IT engineering, whatever engineering exists as branch which human has defined all over the world. Those are having specifications, those are having codes, everything is there what human has developed so far. So you can say something is there which can be understood easily, and that's purpose of education. If I say I'm a professional engineer or I'm a say engineer, I'm expected to know what I have learned in that and what I do in practice. So that is, you can say, a relative one. We cannot isolate that, but if you follow up that, you have to follow up. There is no other way. If you are an engineer, you have to follow up that. And you say, okay, this is defined quality or demanded quality. So we can say, okay, this is our limit. Here is limited quality. Now, I'm not talking about that. That quality is a requirement. But there are so many classes in that quality itself which can be said, okay, I cannot do all this, I can reduce this specification to this extent so that performance works. But there may be some other laws, for example, long life, it is say 60 years, 50 years, alright, I'm accepting 40 years, no problem. It can be said like that. But it impacts upon cost of that. Cost escalation can be avoided. But I'm not saying about that. What I'm saying is, in every field there is a quality system. Medical science says this is specification, this is operation, that one and this one, everywhere it's said. But I'm talking of a major role of every person, because if engineers say there's an engineer, civil engineer, electrical, mechanical engineer, or whosoever he is, if that engineer does not own any responsibility, does not understand quality, we just cannot use a, you can say, educated but uneducated, inexperienced engineer. This means that engineer cannot do anything on its own. It means one has to do whatever is given. Question is, can you redefine that? That is question. Do you have capability to redefine something? And redefinition is always required, because life always moves based on change. Change is a requirement in life. It's not because of engineering, it is because of nature. Nature also requires that you change, like day changes to night, night changes to day, like everything happens. If a kid can be manipulated in mind, it can understand I got potential. What happens this time? Oh, my teacher did not teach me, I can't answer you. Means a kid is not owing self-learning. But when you go upwards, I have seen even there in school, higher schools, in high schools, in universities, it's very rare that people try to learn self-learning, self-understanding, self-realization, self-initiation, self-projection, self-use of mind, and many more parameters like that can change entire mindset. I cannot keep myself confined to, oh, I could not be taught this till now, so don't ask me any question about this. This students can say, university graduates and postgraduates and all those, they say like that, it is out of my syllabus. But why do you want to keep yourself to one certification of a degree or diploma or post-graduation or whatever it is? Are you slave to that? Education means you have to learn something, but you have to know more than something. That is what education is. It doesn't matter that you have 10 degrees or 16 degrees. I have seen many people, oh, this person has got 10 PhDs or 15 PhDs. Very good, you are very educated person. You have got brilliance, and that's why you could go this certification. But can you work on all these fields? You got my point. If I say I have earned 10 degrees of PhD, can I use 10? And if I cannot use 10, and in many cases I cannot use even 1, in that case, what is purpose of that education? this point comes into my mind. Okay, you understand that, that's acceptable. You have gone through entire study, entire research work. You know that knowledge is always welcome. Knowledge is always welcome. Whatever degree of knowledge you have, that is best step. But it should be used. If you're not able to use that, then gradually it dissolves, or you can say kind of decomposition happens in organic world. It decomposes, but it stays in your mind as root knowledge. And if you do not use it in your future, there is no meaning of that education. Yes, if you is required, you can understand that. But what I am saying is, practice is very important. If you have knowledge, and if you use that knowledge on work or in your field or in whatever way, in no relation to making money, but just use that. That is called real knowledge, I would say. It's not simple theoretical knowledge, it is work-based knowledge, responsibilities. If you are an engineer, say civil engineer, nowadays what's happening, you can see civil engineer, mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, IT engineer, who have got some higher degree of education, they are just inclined to work in designs. I'm not against designs. But designs for what? For work. If you know design, you do not know work, how can you do good design? You shall just repeat same prototype and say, this is for you. Did you have any in-depth study or analytical, you can say, process in that, so that you can think more on that? But you did not do, because you are a designer. Designer is very important part of industry. In engineering, without design, nothing works. That is also true. But is that all in all? My point is that all in all? Or that is only restricted one? I'm just checking time. Okay. Is that all in all? My point is that we have to be serious. I'm talking about quality. And I'm talking about soul system, which our engineering does not tell anything about. No scientist can tell anything about. What is soul? No one knows. It is unfortunate. I'm not interested in religion methods. No, I'm not interested in that, because that is different world. I am interested in professional world. Can we understand soul? Can we understand our body? We understand body medically. We understand what body is, what parts of bodies are. Physically, how does it function? Medically, how this function? How there can be ailments, and how can those ailments be treated? In that confinement, we can understand. But question is, did you ever think about how body functions? You would say whatever is described, that way it functions. That is mechanical way. That is defined way. Can some doctor in world say real reason of death, which you call death? Would say, okay, this person died of heart attack or this and that. But how this person died, really no one can tell. How newborn baby started crying, nobody can say. That is my point. How can we know how I am functioning? How can we know I am talking? How can we know I am thinking? How can we know we are doing or I am doing? That is what limitation is there, that you can say this is part, that is part, this is part, that is part, and all parts work together, and that's why you can speak, you can think. That is only surface explanation, superficial explanation. I am interested in real explanation, and that's why I'm talking about in non-religious world what is power of human being. I am saying power of human being. You may say human being is very strong physically. Human being is also very weak physically. Woman is very strong for purpose of generation, and woman is very weak for purpose of doing physical activities. There can be whatever kind of explanation. It doesn't do any finality. That's what I think. So what should I say? I mean, can you think? Can you think? How do you think? You got my point. What I am saying is, you sometimes say I am thinking, but how are you thinking? What is that? You can say management. What is background? Who is asking you to think, and why are you thinking, and why and what way you are thinking? What is process of thinking? I am talking about human universal engineering. I am not talking about earth oriented engineering. I am talking something. You have got something in you. Do you know what is that? You say, yes, I have breathing system, I have thinking system, I have blood circulation system, I have water system inside, I have system of septic tank of my body, which we can say collection of human excreta and also urination. All these are the work of heart, work of this. You know superficially only. That is one part. You must remember, I got you one drawing which says that human works from part to whole, while nature or universe works from whole to part. This is very wide statement, broad statement, which I learned in my surveying engineering in my diploma times in 1972 or 3, when I was learning land surveying. Part to whole or whole to part. Actually, I am telling this because if you start from part to whole, there can be expansion of errors. If error is caught, that will thrive, that will multiply in scale. But if you work from whole to part, error would be minimized in fact. Are you getting this point? Suppose there are 50 parts, let us say, in a machine. If you start designing all parts, you have to design one by one by one by one, all you will design. And there can be caused any level of error in any part, in mechanical part or electrical error or mechanical error or whatever it is. That may impact upon neighbor part, or you can say neighborhood part, or whatever part inside, higher level part or lower level part. So you can say that this may expand further. But if you say no, I can design machine first and later on I would design its part, which is practically not going to work on earth, because every part is mechanical and you have to design every part depending upon requirement of machine. That's what I am saying. Human is very weak in research, human is very weak in production, human is very weak in thinking if you take it in an ordinary way. In ordinary way, you cannot do anything. That is also fact of life. You cannot do anything in an ordinary way until you have determination that you want to do something extraordinary or unequal. That is where I am inclined to interfere in life. I am talking about quality life. I am talking about quality engineering. I am talking about quality mind. Because when you say quality life, your mind should be qualitative. That is most important. And if your mind is not qualitative, you can never expect that you are a quality person. Mind instructs every part of body, and if you can think, means if your mind is qualitative, you shall think qualitative. And quality means every expectation, every consideration, every point, every theorem, everything. You can say it's not what should be done or not should be done. What is fact is fact. In engineering, what is principle? That engineering does not go on imagination. Engineering does not go on any plot. Engineering goes on materials. Engineering goes on designs. Engineering goes on theories. Engineering goes on decision of designs. And we have to consume natural sources and resources in engineering for purpose of using whatever material into whatever form. So we can say an engineering work If you say engineering meaning, it's very important. Engineer itself says, the name engineer itself says, term engineer itself says that a person who uses mind, to be very frank, is an engineer, a person, they just call genius in fact. Genius is European term which says person has got capability to use mind in a right way. That is called genius. It's not something unexpected or which can't be understood. If you can use mind in the right way and you can use your mind in a way that you don't abuse whatever source you have, resource you have, then you are a genius person, because you have to understand material first. You have to understand what is required. You have to understand quantity requirement. You have to understand design requirement, and you have to understand life of that material, and is that material compatible with other materials which we are going to use. And that's where I say that is part of engineering. Just like, for example, we say I have to use this material in construction, and that material can be combination of many material, or it can be composite material, and we say composite materials should be compatible with each other as far as performance is concerned, as far as life is concerned, as far as contraction or expansion is concerned. All these points tell us that we have to do specifically what is required to be done. This means that is very important part. If you are an engineer, you must be capable, naturally capable to understand all this. You cannot simply say, oh, this is given in book. Okay, book is one part of learning, but book is also not every part of learning. Book is just a resource, nothing more than that. Your mind is much more powerful than book if you use your mind. If you don't think that I have passed engineering means I know everything. Passing is very, very normal. Generally, engineers qualify generally, but what qualifications do you have? You cannot announce based on certification. Somebody has got 60%, somebody 80%, but that is also not clear indicator, true indicator of what person is. That is what value person has earned for purpose of using mind. That is actually capability of a person. I don't say somebody says I got this certificate from this institution. I don't care about that. That is just a measurement, nothing more than that. Your degree certificate or further degree certificate or diploma certificate or further diploma certificate do not guarantee that you know job. And you know job means what knowledge? Not that you are forced to know this, but how much can you develop that? That is important requirement in engineering. And engineering says facts and not fiction are required. Engineering says facts are required and no fiction. It is not novel we are going to execute. It is design that we execute. Design is important part in engineering, and same way design is very important part in life. If you want to design something, say you want to design yourself first of all, what you should be, you got knowledge, how can you do that? You say I get opportunity, I may not get opportunity, that's okay. But once you get opportunity, what can you do? Can you use your mind properly? If you got knowledge, this means mind has worked already. You have grasped knowledge, that's why you got certification. But is that enough? That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about quality, and that my conception, my perception should benefit my life also. Engineering knowledge, medical knowledge, or whatever knowledge you got in life, that should be in relation to something, and that some part or some, you can say, power of your body is your mind. If you do not value your mind, you lose everything. To be very frank, if you loosen your mind value, you are nowhere, you cannot do anything on your own. You shall always be assistant to someone, and it's up to you to make a decision whether you want to be assistant or you want to assist yourself. Assistant and assist yourself. You want to have proaction of yourself, you want to lead yourself. Leadership, proaction, and self-understanding, self-learning, these are same. If you are proactive in work, you have to be leader yourself. Nobody can say you are leader or not leader. You know yourself you are leader, because once you lead, You lead with confidence second time, third time, fourth time. You don't need any guidance. It's normal until there's some problem which you cannot solve yourself. So that is what I say. We have to be true person, quality person, and my stress onto this talk is that quality should be considered from first principle, and first principle is quality person, quality professional. If you are quality professional, you shall have highest degree of confidence in your life. If you are not quality personal, you cannot do anything on your own. You have just to refer to others for whatever issue, whatever problem, whatever considerable item, and for everything. But if you have clear concept in mind, then you start leading yourself, and immediately if you prove that you have done it, you shall be leader to others. This is leadership development, not very big subject I can say, though you may conduct lectures on this, but it is very simple. Everybody is born leader, to be very frank. If you want to use your capability, your natural potential, you can use it too easily, provided you must have confidence. And confidence comes from clear conception in life, not with ambiguity. Your conception should be very clear. Just like 2 is to 4, it doesn't make 5. It should be clearly understood, not simply, oh, I thought it was 4, I thought it was 5, I was not clear. That answer is not acceptable. We have to be true, and that's why I'm saying quality is that if you are right person, if you can use your mind properly, if you can lead yourself, I would say you are to considerable extent a quality person, because if you have got confidence in you, you can lead your own way, you can make your own way, you don't depend upon planning by others. And if you cannot do that, then you are a follower, you are not a leader in a profession, and follower has got no meaning in profession. In whatever profession, follower means follower, that's it. You can always follow means you are just a small person in execution, not more than that. If you want to be only in execution, then you cannot say you are a full-fledged professional, because your mind is much powerful because you got learning in university, in your field. But if you can't do that, this means either there is a problem in your mind, or you are a lazy person, you don't do anything. You have to decide, but your mind never permits laziness, sluggishness, sloppy attitude. Mind is always very active, provided you control your mind, you control its remote, and if you can't do that, you can't get anything. That is also true. I intend to tell everyone, I intend to share my information with everyone. Do not be superstitious. I am not talking any superstitious. I am talking what happens in mind. That's so simple. I cannot say I am very brilliant. I cannot say I am brilliant, but I can say I can understand, I can equip myself, I can use my mind whatever way it is required. There is no pride in this statement. This is mathematical statement. This is technical statement. This statement is based upon experience of one, confidence of one. You can also have capacity. You also have power to speak like that. But if you develop that, it's not necessary every time you take notes and say, I'm going to deliver this lecture. I know notes are already inside your mind if you are really open to receive everything. Sometimes you talk something and improvising comes and helps you. You need not worry about that, because you are already having vast information in mind, and when information is not available, there is no dearth of availability of information. It can be recorded, it can be copied from so many sources, so many references that can help you. It won't take much time to study and review information, because you are educated one in that field, and that information you must have gone through somewhere during your studies, but now this has become obsolete, so you get updated information, and that's where you can say that is your support, that is your guide. And there may be many informations available for one work, and those all apply to that, but sequence you have to say, requirement you have to say as a professional. And if you fulfill all those, you include all those information on your budget, I mean say budget work, whatever work you have, then you can say you reached a place, you reached a time where designs and designed informations are available. That's where I say sometimes designs are done exclusively, extraordinarily, but working information, how this is to be implemented, that is not available. Designer did not provide that because designer did not know that, or designer did not act in a professional way. That's what my concern is about quality. Quality life is very difficult to operate self. Quality life doesn't apply only to food, house, and you can say bread. It applies to everywhere. It applies to health, it applies to accommodation, it applies to your thinking, it applies to your school, it applies to your university, it applies to your work, it applies to every place in life. And that's why it is very easy to understand if you are inclined to understand, and it is not easy to understand if you say, I don't care for this. There are so many people in this world who say, I don't care for this. Quality is very important. Unfortunately, it has been ignored. There are various reasons for that. One reason is sluggishness. One reason is you are lazy. One reason is there are abundance of information available, which information may not be right 100%. But I have information on computer, internet, I don't need it, I don't study it, why should I keep it now? Later on, when it's required, I get it. This discouragement does not help anyone. Because just taking information without conducting reliable analysis on that information, without making sure that it is linked to your work or is compatible to that one, there is no meaning of that information. Internet is full of information, but it's very difficult to pinpoint which one is right. But your mind can help you. Your mind can help everything. And that's why mind is most powerful tool in your body, and this is not a separate part. This is an integral part of body. Body was produced, it was manufactured from whole to part, and these parts cannot be separated also. So this is integrated parts of body, integrated, permanently integrated parts of your body, and we have to be real in that direction. We have to be sure about that. Only then we can say, fine, I got this. It's already, I think, 38 minutes. My dear friends, what I'm trying to tell you, I cannot say that I know everything, but I can say I can know everything if I try my best. Whatever is required, if I got theoretical knowledge, if I got to some degree good working knowledge, I can create my own plan and do that. Because a planner, we say, this is a planner, this can do. But planner may not have virtual experience, may not have difficulties in pinpointing problems. That kind of, you can say, planner does not support anything concrete. It's only for showgery, only for telling people, see, we got this planner, we got this designer. Designer and planner don't have difference, because designer itself has to know what is to be designed, what is sole purpose. If there is I am a computer already, I can produce very big book of designs. You can see all colored diagrams, all colored prints. I don't think it will help. We are not working for display. We are not working to show to all people, see so many pages, these 1,000 pages have been produced in this design. So this design is very attractive. But who shall understand them? Only designer, nobody else. When there was no computer, there was no facilities, designs were conducted in those days also. This did not have so many hundreds and thousand pages, never. That's what I'm saying. We have to be crystal clear about that. Computer is for help, not to become slave. You can't be slave to computer. You can't be slave to, if you want to be slave, you have to be a slave to your mind, to your soul. Mind and soul are same. Mind is a vessel, you can say, stationary vessel. Mind is a pot, you can say. Mind is some machine, you can say. Mind has got so many, you can say, names. This can be very much useful part of your body, and this mind has got so much potential you cannot measure. That's what I say. Your mind is not simply this small dome here, it is only for your body, but its connections are so wide you cannot imagine. If you see size of those connections, in that case your body physically won't be seen if you are that remotely located. That's what I'm trying to say. It is very much part of you. So I am trying to tell everyone, this is engineering of different nature. This is not physical engineering, but this is mental engineering, mind engineering, soul engineering. Soul people do not understand, but they never condemn. They actually say, yes, there is a soul, but they can't define. They think gurus shall define, but I am sure there is no real guru in this world who can explain you technically, mathematically what soul is, what is soul purpose. There are two terms, one is soul, S-O-U-L, and one is soil, S-O-I-L. We are talking about quality, that is very important, and file which I have selected for you in this quality system is, I am trying to show you that file. I already show you that one before as well, and here is this file which is really, you can say, so dynamic. We have to think about that. This file is not just for purpose showing, it is for purpose of explanation. I explained you always that what does it mean. If you just see heads of this file, Excel file, you will find same thing I have told you. You develop your mind if you want to do something for this world, and if you don't want to do anything for this world, that is your pleasure. Nobody can force anyone. You are part of a system, and that system is universe. If you think that you are a part of this system, I think you are a dynamic person. And if you think, no, I am living in this world only for purpose of saving myself, surviving myself, just to live and go away, it is also your right. Nobody can force you. Why should someone force you? This file is something I have written what I am saying. You can read this only in very pinpointed way. And I also another file which is here just for purpose of showing. I have shown it before also, but there is no harm if you see that again. Ultimately it is some written document, and that document should be clearly understood. And here is that document which is, I am talking about quality and coordination. It is very, very difficult these days to understand both. What is quality and coordination? You may say, why you are relating these two? Quality has nothing to do with coordination, and coordination has nothing to do with quality, and that's where you are not right. You are not taking right approach. Both cannot be separated, because coordination shall provide you input through information, relevant input, and quality shall be produced only if you have that information. Otherwise you cannot do anything on that. Let me close door. That's what I'm saying here is very much significant. One, that do not just think that you can move without quality and coordination. If you understand coordination, you shall be better person. But people don't understand these days. I know youth never understand what is coordination. They think only telephone call is coordination. They think only writing mail is coordination. Well, these are not really. These are communication mechanism. These are not coordination. We have to be very clear about this. If you want to know this, you have to understand this. And if you can't understand, you can't do anything. Coordination is, you can say, a system of collection of necessary information from whatever source. You should know that source. Nobody is going to tell you what source is. And if you are not able to find that source, pinpoint that source, you cannot get information. That is also very much true. Information can be gathered from that source. Now what's happening? We are just having pride. Oh, we have got this program, we have got artificial intelligence, we have got that intelligence. I think we are all moving in wrong direction. We are moving in a direction which can never help us. We are moving in darkness, because artificial intelligence is required only when there is no natural intelligence. Artificial versus natural. If you have natural information, it is best. So what I say, quality and coordination cannot be disregarded. If you disregard yourself. We have to speak. Speaking cannot be banned by anyone. We have to speak without fear, without favor, and we have to speak about quality and coordination. There is no way, there is no requirement that we have to hesitate about conferring about quality and coordination, because without quality and without coordination, nothing can be done, no technical work can be done, no design can be done, no production can be done. We should not forget that we do not produce any raw material. We do not produce any air particle. We do not produce any fire particle. We do not produce any soil particle. We do not produce any moisture. We should be clear about that. And I say material comes from nature. Nature means universe and not from human. Human itself has got constitution of materials which are also produced by nature. Human has got all biological material which human cannot produce. Human cannot produce blood, cannot produce skin, cannot produce respiration system, cannot produce bones, cannot produce water, cannot produce anything that human machine consists of. And abuse of material remains a sin. That's what I intend to say. And it is very vast statement. Why is that? Material means what? You have to use it. Earth has got so much material for use, which even entire world is not clear of. But that material is for what? For suitable use, for optimum use, for development of world and development of humanity. But is it going on in that way? Why I am saying it's a sin? Because it is being abused by entire world. That's why I'm calling it's a sin. Sin in a way, you do not respect nature. Nature delivered this for some purpose, but you are just connecting that purpose to economical gain and not optimum use. Abuse of material is a sin because you are going to abuse this material in a way that it is destroyed, in a way that this changes shape. It cannot change shape in 1 day or 1 month or 1 year. Change according to radioactivity takes years and years and decades for changing to another form. So that is not a sin because that is natural process. We have to be serious about. Abuse of material remains a sin. Not just theoretical, but real quality and real coordination, that is where requirement exists. We cannot say no. No is not acceptable here in natural engineering world. This earth itself is an engineering product. You are just using that engineered product for your engineering. What are you doing? Nothing. This is produced already. This material is there. If you consider earth like material, this has been there. And you have been staying on this material all time. But even then you do not understand this. You just want to abuse this. And that's where I am not happy with what they are doing. World is a dangerous place because there are billions of dangerous people existing on earth. Dangerous people, they want to destroy earth. It is unfortunate that they don't have access to fly. That's why they cannot reach on other planets. But they have no right to abuse earth, because earth is metal for me, earth is home for me till I travel. I can't do against that. That's why I say quality and coordination. Why should I continuously explore earth materials without any proportion? Very, very simple example. Plastic we have today is in dangerous zone. It is poisonous. Microplastics, you know what is that? This kills humanity, this kills mind, this kills senses, this kills everything. Microplastic. From where did it come? Did you ever notice? Microplastic means it came from byproduct of fossil oil. We are using fossil oil with higher, this is scientific achievement. We have got this. Yes, it is scientific achievement for destruction. If you use this oil improportionally, it is going to create problems for earth. And earth's problems are already generated. We have burnt generally all oil what was available in earth, in crust for so many decades, so many centuries, and it's not even 1 century we have destroyed that oil. We have burned that oil for our cars, vehicles, flights, everything. And still we are burning every day. Just for what? For making money, but we forget that money is only exchange. That is not capital money. In economical terms it may be, but in physical terms, in terms of earth's definition, there is no meaning of any money. It is value of resources, value of sources. We feel pride, I am making this much money for my country. You are not making any money for your country, you are abusing natural wealth. That's it. You are not doing anything good for this earth. You are enemy of this earth, in fact. All leaders who just believe to explore everything from earth are real enemy of this earth. Real enemies. They want to break this earth, but earth is not going to break. They are exploiting everything. They have exploited uranium, they have exploited thorium, they have exploited fossil fuel, they have exploited everything, and in fact they exploited air. They exploited water's bodies. They exploited bodies of humans by cancer, by asthma, by this disease, by that disease. And they say we are scientists, we are leaders, we are doctors, we are this and we are that. You are nothing. You are just a killer of humanity. You just do your way because you are pleased with that. COVID-19 has given a good lesson to everybody, but we cannot learn anything. We ignore quality. We think this is system and we have to follow, but who produced that system? Only people who had greed in their minds, avarice in their mind, they produced that system, no one else. So should we support that system? That is a burning point. Should I support leaders who are criminals? Should I support leaders who think of themselves? We all are leaders on earth. This is not leadership. Everybody is leader on earth. Because we have to do, we can do, only leaders talk, they don't do anything. Political leaders are, you can say, crazy community. They talk and talk and talk and they don't do anything. They only deliver lectures. Are we born to receive their lectures? Are we born to understand them? Why should I understand them? I have to teach them. That's what capacity we have. What a leader? Just by votes, a foolish can become a leader, an idiot can become a leader, a liar can become a leader, a thief can be a leader, a criminal can be a leader. Why should I value them? And it's happening all over the world. Oh, this is my kingdom and I am king, my son shall be king and my grandson shall be king. You all are my community people. You have to follow what I say. What money I want to give you, you have to accept that. From where you got that money? You got that money from earth. It's not your money. It's people's money. You give them or you have to face problems. Quality has been thrown away. It has been thrashed and we have to understand this. Quality is a must for every human. You have to think, and thinking is first principle, first formula to understand what quality should be. And if you cannot think, then you think only for your family, you think only for your wife, you think only for marriage, you think only for death and nothing else. You have no achievement in life, you go blank back, that's it. No attendance on your card, you did not get any daily wage, you did not do anything on earth, you just came, enjoyed and run away, and that's it. That's why you are layman. You are layperson, you don't have any mind, because you are given mind, you did not use that analytically, you did not use that by heart, so you did not do any coordination work, you did not do any information work, you did nothing and you just drank, eat and that's it. That's what I'm saying, coordination work is not employed, it should be used properly by every person. And that's why coordination is important for everybody and we have to understand everything, and there should be so many problems in that. Leaders won't like that. You should be educated, you should have capacity to think. No leader in this world shall like that, because there is no difference between leaders and donkeys, I would say. All over world they do nothing. In fact, political leaders don't do anything, they just want to save positions and nothing else. But we are masters of them and we are also fools, because we vote to them, to what they say, and they never do. That's the only way. Vote has become a disease. Vote has become a machinery that spoils a nation, that spoils leadership capability. Leaders should be capable and mind-oriented, not emotions-oriented. They emotionalize everybody for sake of votes and then they spoil them. They spoil their people. This is what happens and that is not acceptable. We have to understand this point clearly. Science, engineering, medical, life, development, change for sake of change, and all must be considered in a collective pool manner. If somebody blames me, I don't mind. Everybody has a right to speak and everybody has a right to express its opinion and everybody has a right to pinpoint and criticize what someone speaks. So you have every right. I welcome any criticism, every criticism. You may call me fool, you may call me idiot. It doesn't make a health effect on my body. Because one day facts means facts, lies means lies. You cannot protect lies, but facts do not need any protection. Engineering is based on facts and not on lies. Coordination based on facts and not on lies. This we have to understand in our approach, and if you can do that, that's fine. Well, I think in that case I would say you have done your job, but did you? That point is very, very important one, and I have to be with you in that case that you did that job. That is important one. Many people may say, I excite, I, you know, I mislead people. They may say, there are so many my colleagues, they write on Facebook. They can write anything. What's problem to me? No problem. Ultimately, you know what facts are. I have seen now all over world, in fact, there is no leader left. No leaders left. There is no true leader in this world. They are exploiters of world. There is no true leader because there is no true community. Because there is no true community means there is no good community leader. There are no good citizens. Everybody is interested in life, survival. Nobody thinks. Nobody tries to have risk. Nobody tries to speak. Nobody tries to do anything which goes against entire community of leaders. Means it's a kind of scarcity. It's a kind of threat in everybody. Oh, if I speak something, that person shall put me in jail. This threat is real. Why? Why should I be in jail? It is jail already. Why should be in a jail? But don't forget, you have to face when you go back from here another court where they would not require any witness, any evidence, and your quality would be known to them. You may not say you did qualitative work because you never did qualitative work, which has become your weakness. You think these leaders who are working in world, are they genuine? Tell me name of one who is genuine. There is no one, except they are inclined to keep their positions, respective positions, safe for another term and not more than that. They are not serious about status of people who are subjects of respective areas. Whatever country you can take, no country is having any absolute peace. And you can see history also, which is full of unrest, full of wars, full of, a war means what? You tell. You think yourself, what is war? What does it give to anyone except destruction and destruction? Nothing more than that. Why there should be war, that is another issue. I am not going to ask that. But does it help anyone? Yes, peace helps. Technical work helps. Education helps. Health helps. But war is a crime against nature, I would say. War is a crime against existence of earth. Because you are just destroying everything which was made after long struggle by universe. So prem. Making always is very difficult. Just think of one small contemplation, one small, you can say, imagination. It's not going to work, but we can think about for purpose of explanation, for purpose of re-entering into understanding that what it is that speaks. Why I am talking of quality? Quality of everyone, and in fact I am talking of quality of universe and quality of universe object, that is earth. Earth is a planet, it's an object. We are all here enjoying this earth during our travel. When I enjoy something, should I destroy that? Should I damage that? I have to see that. If I enjoy something for whatever period, is it right that I should think of its negativism? To destroy, to damage it? Is that right? After all, what for I came? To destroy it? That's what I'm saying. We have to think about that. No one is permanent resident of earth, except oceans, except seas, except mountains, except whatever is there, air. We are not permanent. No one is permanent. Why should we worry? Why should I think I have to use uranium, thorium, this and that for purpose of using it for Non-energy works like destroying another country, destroying buildings, killing people. We have seen examples in past. What did we get? Okay, you say, oh, they rebuilt. They rebuilt for what? Something was lost. This cannot be recycled. You have to do again another cycle, another material use, and again you have to bomb that. That's what I'm saying. It is completely nonsense that war should be, expected. Yes, there can be frictions always, but why should we destroy something? Why don't we face it? There was a time where used to be face-to-face wars, armies of people with swords and others. Now there are only bombardments and no armies. This means everybody is fearful. Oh, use bombardment, other party uses bombardment, they run away, and both run away. Either they are destroyed or run away. What did we achieve? Destruction on both ends. Do you think is that right? That's what I say. I'm just trying to tell, we have to stop this nonsense of bombs. If you want to fight, fight face to face. You shall have to know what fighting is. Bomb and runaway, is that fighting? Is that war? This is war against universe. War means war against universe if you abuse earth material. If you abuse people only by face-to-face war, that is just another type of war, but real war. And people have to stop this weaponry nonsense. Because this weapon also comes from earth. Material of weapon comes from earth. And you destroy that for what? Just to declare won. Neither you won, nor that party won or lost who was in opposition to you. There are problems everywhere. We have to think separately. We have to think in terms of, in minds of, in chapters of what universe created that. Just like our judge says, we have to analyze, we have to think, we have to imagine what was in minds of MPs or legislators who contemplated, who agreed on this act. That's what you say. Same way you can say what should be in mind or what was in mind of universe that decided to produce it. But you do not think that. Because you do not accept universe they did. You think it is my property. Which is your property? Who gave you this? No one. You just claim it's my property. Your property doesn't exist at all. You're blank on earth. Even your body is not your property. You cannot take it back. Now how can you say this is your body? This means your thinking mindset is not qualitative. You don't have quality thinking. You are absurd. You are misled. You are controlled by a system which does not in fact truly exist. People arbitrarily created some system and you have become slave to that system. Use your system of mind. Use your system of mental oracle that is most powerful. If you can't use that, then I would simply say you are a useless person. You are not a quality person. Despite having quality mind, you fail to use it. You may be whatever educated person, but you are going to support some stupid leader. This means first you are stupid and then that leader is stupid. Your only leader is supreme. Remember, your prime minister is supreme, not this prime minister. Supreme power, universe power, that is your father, mother, that is your president, that is your king. And that person asks, what were you doing when this person whom he calls himself king has destroyed my property? Why were you silent? Why were you watching this sin? So you shall also be pulled into a mechanism where you are afraid of to speak. That's why I say everybody is representative of supreme or of universe. If you have guts to speak, don't think prime minister is all in all. You are all in all, not prime minister, not president, not king, not anybody except honor of universe. And that's it. If you are a quality person, you have to think like that. And once you think, you have become a master. You think, Think and thinking would help you. And if you don't think, then you are not like human, but you are a bullock, you are an ox, you are an animal, and not more than that. You have to decide yourself. You can be a PhD animal or you can be a strong person. Fruit. So that's what I say. It is very important to understand this. I like to close it now because it's already time, and I do not take much more time on this because of so many reasons I told you before also. And let us say already 1 hour. So I'll see you again on this with more advanced talk. I want to speak very clearly because I don't fear anybody, because my time also shall be there. I have to answer that person. I'm not concerned about what court on earth says or what prime minister says or what person. I don't worry about anybody because my boss is there and I have to report that one when that asks me. कहाँ भाग जाती है शाम को?